Welcome to Childcare Conversations, the podcast where early childhood leaders like you get real-world strategies, honest talk, and a whole lot of support. Whether you're running one center or many, we're here to help you lead with confidence and clarity. This episode is brought to you by our summer partner, Childcare Business Growth, your go-to solution for filling spots, increasing revenue, and scaling your childcare business without the burnout. We're proud to partner with a team that's as committed to your success as we are. Learn more at childcarebusinessgrowth.com. Now, let's get into today's conversation, one we think you're really going to love.
So have you ever decided that maybe you wanted more content for your childcare center and you weren't really sure where to start? Well, today I am going to actually have a coaching slash just get down to the nitty gritty conversation with Yolanda. And we decided to record this because I wanted to show her how easy it was to do a podcast.
I appreciate that.
So with that, let's just start with kind of the basic, Yolanda, which is where do you want to use this content? What is the content you want to create? And what made you think a podcast was how you wanted to do it?
So I just basically, I want to put out content that's raw and real, because sometimes we get the fluff, we get all the advice, but sometimes we just want to get down to real questions and real heart answers. So that's why I wanted to put that out for childcare.
And so will this go out to other childcare workers? Will this go out to owners? Will this go out to parents? Where do you see your use of this content?
I feel like anybody in the ECE world, like it can go out to anybody in the ECA world, whether you're an aunt or whether you're the mom or dad or grandma taking care of your kids. Just every angle, if you're touching a child or impacting a child in any way, I think that the content that we would have would just touch you in some kind of way.
Awesome. So right there is the basics of getting started. So literally just talk. And knowing that an episode can literally be 10 minutes, 20, it can be up to 20 minutes, but you want to keep them short. You want people to feel like it's that you're approachable, right? So you're getting personal with them. The other thing that's really great about a podcast is that you don't have to go, oh, I have to do this forever. There are some folks who do, kind of think that once you start a podcast, you have to do it forever. But you don't. You can say, you know what? I want to do a series, like a little mini series. I mean, we had mini series on television, right? If you look at what we do now with television, there are some places that call a whole season like 16 episodes versus back in the day when it was like 40.
Right.
Right? So why not just do think about it as I want to do a series of real questions and real answers related to infants. Or because you're looking at it from your childcare perspective, you might go, what is the age group I need to fill? So do you have one age group that has more holes than others?
Currently I don't. Oh yes, I will say, I'm sorry. Yes, we do. And I think it's a worldwide problem because when the schools start opening up for the 3s and the 4-year-olds to come in,
Hmm.
I think that everyone saw a significant drop in enrollment in those age groups because I mean, who's going to pay for childcare? And most places childcare, I would say, when they can get it for free, and it's like a one-stop shop because they have older kids at the school. So I feel like the 3s and 4s have taken a deep dive, but not also parents not knowing like the quality when you're not childcare versus preschool or education. We focus so much on that and getting ready for kindergarten and giving those social emotional skills, that sometimes I just see the bigger picture, like, oh, we're done paying for childcare, so let's move them on. So I feel like we could bridge a gap in some ways to educate parents in that way.
So right there. So I bet that if you sat there, I see your little pencil there, and if you sat down and wrote everything you'd love to tell to a parent about why keeping that 3-year-old in your preschool at a ratio of 1 to 14 versus going to the public school at a ratio of 1 to 22, why they need to do that, right? So
Right.
you can start with ratios, you can start with regulations and safety, you can talk about the importance of play or the things that are really key at your program. Like if you were a STEM program or an outdoor program or just a play based, whatever that your curriculum and passion is, that
Hmm.
can get shared into, again, 2, 3 episodes. So you could just say, I'm going to do my brainstorm and make that the first thing you do. And that can be a series. That could
Okay.
be all you ever do, but you had a start, a middle, and an end.
I was ignorant to the fact that you can do miniseries. I always thought I didn't want any involvement with any kind of social media, YouTube, anything, because I felt like it was something that I was going to have to keep up long term. So, excuse my ignorance because I absolutely didn't realize that.
Well, a lot of people don't, but because we're thinking about this podcast and
Mhm.
this content for your business's marketing, right? So if you think about doing it as a focused topic series, you also can invite special guests. It doesn't have to just be you talking. Now, a lot of us are perfectly comfortable just going, I'm going to talk all day. But there's also a lot of people that are like, okay, I've been told I need to do this, but I don't like to talk. I don't want to be
Right.
seen. So podcasts don't have to have video. Actually, when you post it to a podcasting app, there is no video. That would have to,
Mhm.
that would be you posting it on YouTube. You can have parents and you can ask parents questions. You can bring in experts from all over the globe to talk about. So, like all those things you'd really love to tell to your parents, but you're thinking, maybe I'm not the one to tell them. Let me go
Yeah.
find this expert.
Okay.
Let the expert tell your parents. But know that you can be the expert for somebody else. So you might find a podcast friend in Texas, for example, who wants this exact same topic, and you guys share, you go on her podcast and have your little rant, and she comes on your podcast and has a little rant. Now you both have 2 episodes because now you can share those episodes. You don't have to necessarily do all of them as brand new content. And that way you're also not doing it all by yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Got you. Mhm.
So what's great is now
I'm
you've
definitely
got,
going along the lines of
huh?
all guests. I'm definitely leaning toward bringing in guests because we don't realize how many people in our life that have different perceptions and different professions that kind of all tie in together. So I'm definitely doing the guest podcast.
Yeah, you can have guests. You can also have rotating co-hosts. So, Carrie and I usually co-host our episodes together. But like if one of us is on vacation or something else is going on, we may get a guest co-host, or you can rotate them. So
Okay.
again, sometimes it's just easier to bounce those questions off of somebody, even if you want to really kind of do a soapbox moment, it might be worth having maybe somebody who thinks differently than you. So maybe somebody who you respect, who might be an elementary school principal, who might have an opinion on why for working families, or families on budgets, why public pre-K is a good solution.
Right.
Um, you may have to bite your tongue and there may be blood dripping out of your mouth
Right. Right. Like,
because it may be very different than what you actually think. But again, it's an option. You don't
yeah.
have to go there, right? But we do know that, you know, um, anything where people kind of get into kind of an argument, whether it's on television, whether it's on talk radio, a podcast, these are things that get people kind of like, maybe this is kind of interesting, right? I like the little banter that seems to, maybe they don't like each other kind of a thing,
Right.
right?
Right.
So there you go. That's your content. That is basically what I call steps 1 through 4, because I actually tell
Okay.
you there's going to be 8 steps total.
Right.
Okay. So the next one is the actual logistics to getting started. Okay. So if you want, and you do not have to have an introduction or like an end, like an intro or an outro, but if you do,
Mhm.
the music has to be royalty-free music. So if you Googled royalty-free music, you'll find royalty-free music. You'll find stuff that's free. You'll find stuff that you can pay for. But your intros and outros are like 15 seconds, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, hi, welcome to Real Life with Yolanda, right? Like that's it. And then boom, your episode starts.
Okay.
Okay. So nothing,
So you need fancy equipment.
nope. So that's actually, look at you. Are you sure you're not looking at my notes? Because that's actually the next thing. Um, what you see is what you get. So we have over 300 episodes. We've been doing it for 5 years, and literally we use Zoom in our computers.
Okay. Okay.
We have had fancy computers. We have had mixing boards. We have had all of that. But what we have found for most of the people who are listening to us, for the purposes that we do our podcast, recording on Zoom and using the audio track is really all we ever need. Now,
Okay.
the biggest thing here's the key thing with the tech setup. Decide what day you're going to start.
Whew. Pressure, no pressure, no pressure.
But most of us, we will spend so much time trying to analyze, decide, maybe even practice.
Right.
But the best thing to me in step five, so in step five, I've got like five little baby steps, is to pick your launch date. Now, in addition to a launch date, you need a name for your podcast. If you are doing it, if you're looking at this content creation, so I like to think of a podcast as content creation because you're going to recycle this content to blog posts, newsletters, things in your social media, future books. So I like to encourage people to come up with a name that's really clear, not necessarily one that's really clever. So it might be, what's the name of your program, Yolanda? I know I saw it on
Kids
screens, but
club.
I don't remember. Huh?
Kids club.
Kids Club. So you might have literally tips from Kids Club Tampa, or it could be if it's going to be you as the brand, it could be, you know, real thoughts on childcare from Yolanda,
Okay.
right? Something like that. Something that's really
Kids Club Chronicles.
something. Well, but is Chronicles, what are you really going to do? Like
No.
making it a chronicle, or is this like getting real, or is this tips? Like, what is, just think it through. We had our first 100 episodes, we actually had another name.
Okay.
It was Colorful Clipboard.
Okay.
And for us, we knew exactly what that meant because as a director, we both at different times had this colorful clipboard that we carried around that was kind of where we took all feedback when people wanted to give us things to do.
Mhm.
So to us, it made a lot of sense, but it didn't really make sense to anybody else.
Okay.
So, and because your goal here is marketing, either keep it on brand with your childcare center or
Mhm.
attach it to you.
Okay.
Okay. Because
I
remember,
wouldn't
again,
know. That's so hard. To either. Oof, I don't know. I would have to. That's definitely a thinker. Cause
but you know what? You don't even have to figure that out yet. Believe it or not, that actually can be one of the last things you do.
okay.
Okay. So then you're going to want to record a few episodes. And again, remember, they're 10 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
So I tell everybody record 5 episodes because you actually need 5 to actually launch on most platforms.
Okay.
So record the 5 episodes and then decide where do you want to put them.
Okay.
So the different places you can put them include YouTube. YouTube's free. You can go do a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Make it on an email that's not your personal email.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay. All right.
Create something different.
You can post it on your website. Right? You can just, especially if you're just doing a little mini series, You can just put those files right there, embed them into your website on a page that's resources for parents or something like that. You can use a podcast platform. Now, my preference is Buzzsprout.
Oh yeah, yeah, I mentioned it.
Yeah, and I absolutely love Buzzsprout because it integrates with all of the platforms. It will do an RSS feed, which basically is a feed that can be embedded into your website, so it's really easy. You don't have to do any cut and pasting or programming. It just puts it there. It takes less than like 10 minutes to upload. And if you've done an intro, you upload the intro once, you upload um,
Text.
the episode, and boom. You don't even
Okay.
have to try to make them go together.
Okay. Is
Okay.
there a lot of editing involved?
The only place we ever edit is usually at the beginning, um, where we take off like our, one, two, three, four, five.
Okay.
And that's only because and now we do have an editor that for us does take out like some ums and uhs and tries to equalize kind of the noise levels because there's usually at least two of us,
Okay.
but you don't have to.
Okay.
And Buzzsprout now has some AI editing features that are included.
Okay.
So again, that's kind of why I've liked Buzzsprout. They've added several AI features over the last 5 years, and it's really made it so that you don't need to have a lot of other software.
Okay.
Okay. So after you've done 5 episodes, you figured out where you're going to put it, you got to tell people that it's there.
Yeah. Okay.
So promoting your work, right? So, like I said, so under step 5, which is the technical setup, right? It's the intro, it's the outro, it's the we do it on Zoom, picking a launch date, coming up with your name, record some episodes, and then promote it.
Okay.
Now, number 6. Now, this is all optional. If you use something like Buzzsprout, you can have kind of a description or what they call show notes to your episode. And that's where you could have resource links. So, like if somebody's listening to an episode on, maybe you're going to talk about the rough and tumble kid, right? And big body play. And so maybe you want a resource to a book or maybe some other expert that talks about big body play and why kids should have big body play and why kids should maybe do heavy work on the playground, why you have that wheelbarrow on the playground.
Okay.
Okay. And then you can also put in call to actions like, hey, join my email list. Hey, sign up and bring your kid here today for a tour. That kind of stuff, right?
Okay.
So now here's the big one. You ready for the big secret?
Yes. Yeah.
Don't
Look, I'm
overthink.
scared.
Don't overthink
I'm
it.
already like, oh Lord.
The biggest thing I can tell you is to not overthink it, not get too stressed out. It is literally to get started. You're going to grow in confidence, and the quality of your episodes are going to get better and better and better. If you
Okay.
go listen to our episode 1 through 10, it will crack you up. It should give you all the confidence you ever need to get started.
Okay.
And
Sure. Good.
I think that if you rehearse or overthink it, you're going to get very frustrated with yourself because you're going to be like, oh, that's not what I wanted to say. Well, nobody knows what you wanted to say except you.
Okay.
And so, literally, we take a post-it note and we might write some notes down on a post-it note, and that is to the extent of an outline.
Okay.
Okay. And that's it. Boom. You have a podcast.
Okay.
But you don't really have a podcast. What you have is awesome content that you can now use as a podcast. You can use in your social media. You can take the transcripts.
And
So
make a
you can
yeah,
take
I'm gonna do
this
that.
AI. Do you have Microsoft Word at your place or do you use Google?
No, we use Microsoft Word.
Okay, so in Microsoft Word, there is actually a feature that it will translate a Word file.
Oh
So
yeah.
you don't even have to pay for a translation software.
Okay.
And then you can take that transcript, toss it into Chat GPT and say, make me a 150 word blog post out of this.
So is that the same thing as the dictate button, or is that something
Yes,
different?
it's the
Okay.
dictate button.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just that
So
has been a lifesaver.
if you upload your audio file to the dictate button, because there's an option in the dictate button,
What?
it will
I didn't
transcribe.
know that. Oh, I see it. I'm looking right now. I'm sorry.
That's
I got
okay.
excited. 'Cause I do use the dictate button, but you don't drop down. You don't read extra. You just find something cool, and I didn't dig into it more. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. And then you take that transcript and you throw the transcript into Chat GPT. And I am a huge conversation person. I am not a prompt person. And so I do it with hey, can you make this a 150 word blog post? And then I read it. And if I don't like it and I don't think it sounds like me, I'm like, can you make this more fun?
Yeah, because
Hey,
of your
can you
personality is fun, so you want it.
absolutely, can you give me a link to a good book for a parent on this subject? All right. And then, those kinds of things. So that's all the kind of stuff that I will then go, and I need this.
Okay,
Oh, this is great. Any other examples? And my favorite line ever with ChatGPT is, what would you change or what is it missing?
okay. I didn't think to ask them that. We
Well, and I
use these
always tell,
resources. We use these resources, but we don't ever think to dig a little deeper.
so
We're
here's a
so
question.
surface.
When you're working with ChatGPT, do you tell ChatGPT what kind of business they or what kind of person they are?
No.
So like if, for example, this, I would say, I need you as an expert copywriter and
Mhm.
a marketing blog specialist to write me a blog geared at parents in Tampa who are prior military, who are taking their children out of my private preschool and putting them in public preschool.
Mhm.
And then, can you make this blog appeal to them?
Wow. Never knew that could do. Never knew. Mind blown.
So if you're not sure, do it however you've been doing it. Just give it the transcript, say I need a blog, then tell it it's the expert,
They go crazy.
and you
Like
get a
excited.
whole different. And then I come back and go, hey, I need a really strong, engaging hook. And then chat will ask you, hey, would you like some social media posts to go with this?
Wow. Okay.
And say, yes, I would like two for Instagram, two for Facebook. What kind of image should I use?
So just use what's given to us to our advantage because we're
Yep,
over here.
just
I'm a number seven all day. I'm gonna overthink and overthink. Just I'm gonna be transparent. When you guys said that you had the news press,
mhm.
I my stomach just went in knots. First of all, I'm not privy to know what news press I have here. Like just being transparent, and then the thought of everybody out in the community reading about it is so scary. I don't know why, but my stomach was like, I hope they don't post it. I'm not gonna send it any further. Like it's cool, it is what it is. But like stuffing yourself down because you overthink things, I don't think we'll get very far in life. I'm working on it. But like naturally, I'm just kind of like, if you're in my bubble and you know me, cool. And if not, if you
Stay out of my
happen to come
bubble.
to me, yeah, yeah, just like,
Well, so if you think about it, Yolanda, you're already spending a lot of money developing those relationships with your families, with your parents. You're using a marketing resource. So right now, you're the last key to an awesome marketing resource. It's you. And that horn ain't going to toot itself, sweetie. And so nobody's going to know how awesome you are unless you got a bugle player, and most of us don't have one. So
don't have
you get to be your own bugle player. And sometimes, and again, press releases are not something like I have not been to an early child care workshop conference in over 20 years where somebody's actually done how to do a press release.
ever. I've
And
been to a couple.
Yeah, so Carrie and I already decided, we already wrote the workshop. We already decided that that's what Nick needs to have us do next year. But
Right.
it's
Let's
one
go,
of those,
Nick.
but it's one of those things that it's like, even if we tell somebody how to do it, the stop and now do it, which is what I love about Nick's format, right? So, like in Nick's format, that would be the easiest thing for us to do is like, okay, so I want you to write 2 sentences about your program because this is going to be in your press release. Y'all are be like, no.
Yeah. It's so hard.
Well, again, we make it harder than it is because
Right.
we think we have to make it perfect. But if you reach out to one of the Tampa newspapers, you take that template that Carrie created, literally fill in the blanks, and send one of I mean, there are a bazillion pictures of you getting your awards.
Oh, wow.
There are. I've seen them. And go find one that doesn't make you go, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. That part.
Kind of like the pictures of us being the turtles. There's like 2 pictures I've seen
Oh,
posted that don't
I
make
love
me go, oh my God.
I love that. That was really good.
And so if you're going to be, the award-winning Yolanda Smith, the awesome entrepreneur, childcare educator, childcare business owner, we want to scream it from the rooftops because people need to know why they need to stay at your program versus going to that free public school.
Okay.
Okay. And that's how you tell them. You're not really telling them. You send a press release to a newspaper, and then that newspaper now makes you the authority.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
All right. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
So now it just requires the action piece.
Right. The action piece is it.
All right. So
Well, sometimes you just have to get
when are
over
you gonna do
yourself.
that press release?
Um, Probably if I was to answer you, I would probably do it today and sooner rather than later because if I don't, I'll get back in number seven.
Well, and if you do it today, it's still relevant. If you
Oh
wait
yeah.
2 weeks, then it's, oh yeah, 2 weeks ago I did this. If you
Yes.
do it
Okay.
today, you're like, hey, entrepreneur Yolanda Smith just got back from international conference where she received 2 of these awards
Okay.
in Miami last Friday.
Okay.
Because you're hot shit
Okay.
and and people need to know you're hot shit. And
Thank you.
you're not going to say you're hot shit. Nick
No.
already did, and now you just want the local paper to say it too.
Okay.
So, are you part of a local chamber?
I am. But
Oh,
do I go often? Not as much as I would love to, but
send
yes.
them the press release, and anytime you can't go, find somebody else in your network who can go on your behalf. Maybe it's a parent who loves to network. Maybe you have a teacher who like that's their thing. Put somebody in those things as often as possible, and it doesn't always have to be you.
Okay. Didn't know that either.
Yeah. Make it a parent.
Okay.
Especially parents that are like your raving fans, like your super parents.
Mm-hmm.
Send them.
Okay.
Let them talk about how awesome you are,
That's awesome.
right? Because, you're back there being the superhero. You need somebody out there being the
Cheerleader.
Alfred. You need an Alfred. Go be Alfred. You need some parents out there being Alfred. So,
Okay.
all right. Any other questions? I know I threw a bunch of stuff at you. I know I am making you be recorded.
No, you're fine. The only other question I would have is just like technical questions, like even just getting like how like you guys gave us the press release thing, getting that from the platform that it is to where it needs to be.
Okay.
The technical part is a little scary for me.
So the
Um,
technical part on the podcast?
yes,
Okay.
that's
All
what I'm
right.
talking about. Like say, hey, I did do the dictate. And I'm just talking to um, Word. How do I get it then from Word to where I need it to be?
So
Like,
from Word into like the Buzzsprout show
yeah,
notes.
right,
Okay.
right, right.
All right. So hang on. I'll go show you.
Okay.
I'm
Because
like,
that's
let's
really
do
like
it.
half the battle. If I feel like that I'm confident If I feel like I'm confident in what my steps are and how to go through it, then I will be more apt to do what I need to do quickly.
All right, let me just go to, it's trying to take me to episodes, and I don't want it to take me to episodes. I want it to take me to, all right. So let me go, I'm going to do a screen share.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right. So here is literally our Buzzsprout homepage, right? So this is the admin page. And if I was going to upload a new episode, I'd come to upload new episode. Okay. And then
Mhm.
here, all I do is choose a file. So in my case, I come over here to downloads and no, under documents. So
I guess I should have looked at the platform first because I see where it says choose file. That's
that's okay.
really
That's okay. So now I'm just going to choose the audio file.
okay.
And so from here,
Wow.
it's leave unpublished, publish immediately, or schedule for future, right? So I'm going to give it an episode. And yesterday was hire me. We had the best teacher. She's only been in the field for a couple of years, but everybody like loves her energy, so they keep promoting her. And
Okay.
so I'm like, can we talk about how people found you? And she was a parent referral.
Oh my gosh, that's
The owner went to all of the parents and said, "Hey, it's post-COVID. We're having a little trouble keeping, some quality staff. Do you know anybody who really has a lot of energy and likes kids?"
okay.
So she was a parent
That's
referral.
cool. That's
But she
really
was a
cool.
parent referral because the owner asked the parent, not because the parents just said, "Hey, I know this person."
Okay.
Okay. So now you've taken it from dictate with Word. You have two options. So this is the episode description. So this would be the show notes. This isn't where you would put the transcript, right? But this would
Okay.
be tips for parent referral
Okay.
of staff, right? Or whatever you might put, right?
Right.
Call me at my phone number, right? So put some sort of call to action. Phone up, phone number. There we go. All right. Um, you can include artwork. So you got
Okay.
episode artwork. You can even design it in Canva and put it right in here. All right. And so that is, what all you need. You have
Okay.
more options, right? But here I'm going to just save episode. Now from here, so I've saved the episode. It's not live, it's just saved. Over here on the right-hand side, do you see this add transcript?
Yes. And that's where you were talking about go in, plug
Cut
it
and
in.
paste, put in
Okay.
your dictate.
Okay.
Now, here's the reason to do that. One, now you've got a transcript, so now anybody can use your Buzzsprout content, but so can you. Okay? You can also take that same content. I'm going to take us one more place. Hang on. All right. So now you can also, so I call my ChatGPT Jody. So
Okay.
I've given Jody a name. So if you ever hear me say something about my employee Jody, know that that was probably
I
ChatGPT.
love that. That's really
Okay.
cool.
So here I am literally in ChatGPT that says, here is the transcript from a podcast I recorded.
Mhm.
Can you make it 150 word blog, a 300, oh, we'll go with 400 word newsletter, and I need 3 social media posts to
Mhm.
go with it. You are an expert in digital marketing, and my clients are parents with 3-year-olds.
That's crazy.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then right here where this little plus sign is,
Mhm.
add photos or files. So you can
Okay.
either upload the Word document transcript or literally you can hit a shift enter and you can cut and paste that content right there.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
And then Jody will give you, or whatever you call chat. I have one friend who calls it Chad. Um, so, you can have Chad, Jody, whatever you call Chat GPT or Gemini or Copilot. You're
Right.
right there in Microsoft. Just use Copilot. Just
Okay.
flip Copilot on and say, hey, this is what I need.
Okay.
You don't need to have formal prompts anymore. AI is getting smarter and smarter. You can do it. I'm not saying you can't have formal prompts. What I'm saying is you don't need them.
Okay.
And sometimes, again, depending on how you think, I always ask questions like, what else might make this a really good newsletter article,
Okay.
right? Now, newsletter article, blogs, social media posts, podcast. This is a marketing tool for your business. Make sure every one of those have a link to your website.
Okay.
Make sure they all have a call to action that says, join our newsletter, come in for a tour, don't forget to like, share with your friends.
Okay.
Okay? Because just creating the content is not nearly as powerful as sharing the content with a call to action.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So how was this? Was this a scary experience?
It was not a scary experience. It was a
But guess
very
what you did?
life
You
experience.
just recorded a podcast. So what would you tell people in this experience?
Um, like Nike, just do it.
Aha! There we go. So that's it. That's the end of the episode.
All
Boom.
right.
All right, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Thanks for tuning in. We love bringing you real talk and fresh insight from the world of early childhood education. Be sure to follow us on social media to stay connected and catch all of the latest episodes. And if you're planning a conference, training, or special event, Kate and Carrie would love to speak to your audience. You can learn more about their keynote sessions and workshops at kateandcarrie.com. If you learned something today, share the show and leave us a review below. We'll see you next time on Childcare Conversations.